Hello, my name is Cameron, and I have created a crisis response plan for a service outage. This briefing sets a clear, transparent purpose. Acknowledge today's service outage, provide fact-based status, and outline concrete customer actions and safeguards. In any fast-moving incident, multiple stakeholder groups have distinct information needs. End users want immediate workarounds, enterprise admins require impact scope and timelines, and internal teams need synchronized direction. To avoid noise and decision paralysis, we anchor on a predictable cadence. For example, top-of-hour updates, a single source of truth, status page, and consistent message architecture. What happened? Current impact, mitigation, next update. Human-centered AI assists behind the scenes, triaging inbound signals, clustering tickets by symptoms, and surfacing anomalies, yet remains accountable to human operators who make risk and ethics decisions under time pressure. Research on AI and crisis decisions underscores the need for explainability, adjustable autonomy, and respect for cognitive limits during compressed decision windows. Our communications therefore prioritize clarity over technical depth and reversible steps over irreversible commitments. Emergency decision studies show that people process instructions more accurately when guidance is short, sequential, and paired with salient cues. We apply this by giving 2 or 3 immediate, high-yield actions. Finally, we operationalize strategic intent through AI-enabled CRM practices, sensing emerging issues across digital channels, seizing the opportunity to notify the right customers at the right time, and transforming our engagement flows as the incident evolves. This is not abstract theory. It directly shapes our playbook, structured status headings, visual progress indicators, simple remediation instructions, and a public post-incident review. The outcome we aim for is trust, not only restoring service, but also demonstrating reliability, empathy, and learning in the way we communicate and improve. We begin with unambiguous acknowledgement. The outage interrupted user workflows, and we are sorry. A sincere apology is paired with concrete steps and ownership to signal control and competence. Operationally, our incident command is active with engineering, customer support, and communications leads co-located virtually or physically to compress decision and feedback loops. Because crises increase decision density and cognitive load, messages must be prioritized. 1. What customers should do now. 2. What we're doing. And 3. When we will update again. Internally, we employ a short incident objectives statement and 30 to 60-minute operational periods to drive rhythm. Externally, we publish the same headline data, scope, symptoms, workarounds, across web status, in-app banners, and social channels to avoid divergence. Human-centered AI augments triage by clustering similar reports and proposing likely root cause signatures, but humans arbitrate when to escalate, rollback, or broadcast update thresholds. Research emphasizes that ethical AI use in crises requires explainability and sensitivity to values like solidarity and humanity. Practically, this means avoiding over-personalization that could expose vulnerable users and ensuring every customer receives essential guidance promptly. Emergency decision literature further suggests that shorter, action-oriented messages reduce errors. Therefore, we cap remediation guidance at 2 or 3 steps, supported by icons or micro-animations. Our immediate commitments are to safety, prevent data loss, stability, avoid risky changes, and transparency. Next update window. We explicitly note the status URL and we invite customers to subscribe to notifications, aligning expectations while our teams work through containment, mitigation, and verification. At 9:40 a.m. Central Standard Time, telemetry indicated anomalies concentrated in our primary network routing layer, resulting in intermittent login failures and stalled synchronization for a subset of users. To preserve situational awareness without flooding audiences with jargon, we describe the failure path as plainly as possible. A malfunctioning node impacted session establishment, which cascaded to authentication, retries, and queuing delays. We isolate affected components, detach them from production traffic, and divert flows to healthy routes. We do not speculate. Instead, we time-box investigations, report what is confirmed, and share the next verification gate. For example, error budget stabilization or latency thresholds. Research on AI for crisis decisions warns against automation that impedes human situational awareness. Thus, while machine learning can correlate logs and propose hypotheses, we keep humans in the loop to vet evidence and decide cutovers. In parallel, we minimize competing narratives by maintaining a canonical incident record accessible to both internal teams and customer-facing staff, reducing the risk of contradictory statements. Importantly, we convey scope boundaries, no evidence of data exfiltration or integrity compromise, and impact limited to authentication and synchronization. That specificity lets customers evaluate their own residual risk and implement temporary mitigations such as session persistence or offline workflows. In this phase, our communication aim is precision plus restraint. Confirm what is known, avoid conjecture, define the next checkpoint, and protect trust by resisting overshare or guesswork under pressure. We report restoration by customer observable outcomes rather than internal milestones. Percentage of successful logins, sync completion rates, and median latency compared to baseline. For example, stating that 82% of core functionality is restored, paired with a clear path to 100%, gives meaning beyond listing components. Each update includes 3 elements. A. What changed since last update, e.g., traffic rerouted to backups, patch deployed. B. What we're monitoring, e.g., retried auth ratios, queue drain times. And C. The next time frame for confirmation. Crisis AI research highlights the need to balance timeliness with explainability. We therefore use intuitive visuals, progress bars or gauges, and thresholds customers can understand. Under high time pressure, emergency decision literature cautions that long, dense narratives hinder comprehension, so we use short, layered messages. Headline first, expandable detail on the status page. Internally, we require independent verification before declaring a step stable to avoid premature all clear. We also monitor for adverse secondary effects, for example, increased load on fallback paths, and call them out transparently if present. Where AI helps is monitoring anomaly detectors flag regressions, and AI-assisted CRM matches patterns to prior incidents, prompting proactive outreach to affected cohorts. But we keep adjustable autonomy. Humans can pause recommendations, escalate severity, or broaden notifications. By clearly describing how we measure, verify, and communicate progress, we transform a technical recovery into a trust-building narrative that customers can follow and plan around. When customers are under stress, cognitive bandwidth is limited. Research on emergency decision-making shows people follow simple, immediate instructions more accurately than complex troubleshooting trees, especially when paired with salient cues. Accordingly, we recommend 2 to 3 high-yield actions. Refresh the session or browser, restart the mobile app to reinitialize authentication, and consult the support page for current workarounds. These steps are intentionally ordered from least to most effort and apply broadly across use cases. We avoid edge case fixes in broadcast messages. Those belong in targeted support articles to prevent confusion. Each action is accompanied by a plain language rationale. Refresh will establish a clean session to increase compliance. To ensure accessibility, we support the instructions with iconography and short captions. For screen readers, we include concise alt text. We also differentiate between end users and administrators. Admins receive specific notes on policy caches or SSO token refresh if applicable, but only via channels that match their role to avoid overwhelming general users. Our AI-assisted CRM helps coordinate this outreach. It segments audiences by product, platform, and region, enabling precise notification without violating privacy or fairness principles. Importantly, we set a clear update window so customers can decide whether to retry now or wait for the next status. By focusing on brevity, sequencing, and role-appropriate detail, we reduce missteps, speed recovery for many users without support intervention, and keep the service desk available for the small percentage who need deeper assistance. Customer trust depends not only on resolving today's incident, but also on demonstrating how we will prevent recurrences and respond better next time. We are strengthening reliability across 3 dimensions. First, prevention. Architectural guardrails such as redundant routing domains, stricter change windows, and pre-flight simulation raise the bar for risky deployments. Second, recovery. We invest in fault isolation speed, canarying, and automated rollback policies, coupled with human-led pre-mortems to anticipate failure modes. Third, communication and care. We deepen customer engagement with AI-integrated CRM that enhances dynamic capabilities, sensing weak signals across support, telemetry, and social channels. Seizing opportunities to notify the right cohorts with timely, relevant guidance, and transforming our operating model as conditions evolve. Evidence shows that AI CRM's effectiveness is moderated by strategic intent. The disciplined choices leadership makes to prioritize resilience, not just speed. That is why we codify incident principles, safety, stability, transparency, and publicly commit to a post-incident review with timelines, corrective actions, and ownership. We will also expand our simulation program, tabletop exercises for executives, red team drills for engineers, and communications games for spokespersons, to rehearse decision density and information flow under pressure. Finally, we use ethical AI guidelines for monitoring and outreach, adjustable autonomy so humans can override suggestions, explainability in internal tools, and guardrails around data minimization and equity. Together, these safeguards reduce likelihood, shorten duration, and improve the human experience when the unexpected occurs. Our approach integrates three complementary insights from recent scholarship into practical, customer-facing actions. First, AI for crisis decisions. In urgent, complex settings, decision-makers face information volatility, moral trade-offs, and the risk of automation undermining situational awareness. The remedy is human-centered AI, systems that augment rather than replace human judgment with adjustable autonomy, explainability, and sensitivity to principles like humanity and solidarity. Practically, this informs our status cadence, layered messaging, and explicit next update promises that respect time pressure while avoiding opaque statements. Second, emergency decisions and cognitive load. Experiments show time pressure and uncertainty constrain human processing. Short, sequential, and role-appropriate instructions reduce error rates. We therefore recommend only 2 or 3 immediate actions in broadcasts, with deeper troubleshooting reserved for targeted channels. Third, AI CRM and dynamic capabilities. Adopting AI-augmented customer relationship tools improves an organization's sensing, detect early signals, seizing, mobilize resources and messaging, and transforming, reconfigure processes, capabilities, especially when guided by strategic intent. In practice, we use AI-assisted clustering of incident reports to identify affected cohorts, then deliver privacy-preserving relevant notifications across channels. These ideas also shape how we close the loop, a public post-incident review that translates research-backed principles into measurable improvements. By fusing these streams, human-centered AI, emergency decision psychology, and AI CRM strategy, we create a response that is faster, clearer, and more humane, and we provide customers with the information and agency they need to navigate the outage with confidence. Thank you for your time and look forward to partnering with you in the future.